Hey, WokeNFree Nation, Newsly is an audio app for iOS and Android. It picks up web articles about the most trending topics on the web at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice.
For the first time in the history of the internet, the entire web becomes listenable. Browse articles from topics you choose and start playing. Stop scrolling, start listening.
You can follow any topic as specific as you like, from sports, science, to Bitcoin, or even one of your favorite celebrities. It will find you the latest articles and read them to you aloud.
And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 50 countries. Our podcast, WokeNFree, is there too.
Now let's get into the episode. Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 262nd episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week we're asking the question, when can you lie to your partner? ...
Good one.
Very interesting, very sultry. But before we dive into the subject, a couple of things to go over. Have you not only gone to WokeNFree.com to listen to this episode, but have you downloaded it through the Podbean app? If you haven't, please do so immediately, because with the app, that's how you're able to put in your comments, and then you can tell us your thoughts about when it is okay to lie to your partner. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you should always, right? Wherever you stand on the topic, we want to hear from you. Now, if you listen to podcasts on devices where you cannot get another app on it, so no bueno kind of situation, that's a little sad. But what you can do then instead is go to WokeNFree.com, go on the Listen tab, and then pick your platform of choice where you're going to not only listen to the show, but you're going to follow and subscribe to us. So we're on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube. Our YouTube channel is popping. Go and subscribe, please. SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora. It's a WokeNFree world. So most places where you can get podcasts, we are there. Definitely click, follow, subscribe on WokeNFree.com through the Podbean app. And then on social, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and LinkedIn at WokeNFree. And then if you have 90 seconds, which is really more of a statement, less of a question, you can go to WokeNFree.com, go on the Listen tab, then pick your platform of choice where you'd like to review the show at. Now I'm going to kick it to you, Khalil.
I'll take it then, if you let me. Before we start the conversation, we're going to share a little bit about ourselves. This week we're asking, would you rather be an infamous black hat hacker or the world's best pickpocket?
Is it pickpocket or
yeah.
Pickpocketer or something?
No.
Okay, interesting.
That's what it is.
Okay, fascinating. So I don't know what black hat hacker is.
It's just a hacker that's going to do stuff for their own personal gain.
For their own... So both are nefarious options. Okay, so one is indiscreet theft and the other is...
Well, they're both discreet because you're doing...
Okay.
Unless you get caught.
But you're saying infamous, though, so the person is actually known, no?
Yeah, they're known, but I'm saying that when they actually commit their crime, you don't know...
It's discreet.
Yeah, you don't even know it happened until later. And then you're like, uh-oh, something happened here.
Well, I mean, I'd like to plead the fifth on this one because I don't want to do anything nefarious. But if you're making me have
you just having a choice, though. You know, it's not saying you want to be like you aspire to be this.
If I have to choose it, I guess I would do hacking as opposed to physical robbery.
Is that? I mean, but it's not like.
Well, no, like technically, it doesn't fit the legal definition of robbery. But
yeah, you're not using a weapon, right?
Yes, but I don't like either choice. But I guess I would go with hacking in this scenario. How about you?
I would definitely do the hacking. I think it's better because you can get a lot out of it compared to the pickpocket. You can only pick up like spare change on people. And then items that are on people. But if you're the hacker, you can pick up millions of dollars if you want, or billions.
No one walks around with more than 25 cents on them.
Yeah, you can only get spare change, like nickels, coins.
So you might as well just go to any of those water fountains.
Yeah, you can pickpocket the water fountain. That's the only kind of thing you do.
Hilarious.
The hacker is better. I mean, The problem is if you are a hacker, you probably are likely to lie to somebody as well, though, because you're an infamous person, right? So you may do nefarious things such as lie to people. The pickpocket might lie too, but I feel like if you are the hacker, you probably lie to your partner a lot.
Excellent.
But we've got to ask the question, when can you lie to your partner? Even if you are this mysterious or infamous black hat hacker.
Exactly.
Isn't that interesting?
According to this Bustle article, it's titled, it's so interesting, 6 times it's okay to lie to your partner. I thought that was hilarious. And so I had to share this here. And so the 6 reasons, as stated in this Bustle article, are 1, deceptive affection. So that's one of the types of lies that keeps partners close and relationships running smoothly. According to Reader's Digest advice writer Chelsea Stone, this includes lies such as, I love you more than anyone in the whole world. And when you actually feel like you love your mom or your child more.
Interesting. Yeah, so careful.
And the average couple does this about 3 times per week. And it's cool because it helps keep you feeling close, according to Stone. And it's not like you can measure your love with a scale anyway.
But I mean, that one's easy to know if you're lying, though. Because, then the person could ask you immediately, well, you love me more than our child?
What kind of question is that, though? Like, why would you ask that?
Because someone said something, a superlative that's obviously false.
You're screwed either way you answer it. If you say no, then you don't love your child enough. And if you say yes, then that's screwed up.
There's a way to get around it. It's easy. You say, I have different types of love for you guys.
That's not politically correct at all. Exactly.
Like, I do love you the most in the world, but it's the special agape love.
Speaking in another language. I would have gone with that.
Why would you do that? I mean, that would be weird.
Speaking Greek and Latin.
That doesn't solve the question at hand, though.
But it is an answer.
Yeah. I mean, you could also just run away as well, right? That's an answer, too.
Run away.
That's an answer. I mean, that's like a mission you complete the 5th. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do.
I think that's very appropriate here.
But I mean, the thing I'm doing is actually, it's correct. It's how you can say that.
Yes, computer, aka operating as a man.
We gotta just keep things, just keep them on the up and up.
Let me compute for you now.
Yeah, the robot would know not to say, I love you more than anybody in the world.
You out, and that way there's no need to answer the question.
so take you out to dinner, exactly.
Yeah, take you out of the universe.
Yes, into another universe.
The metaverse.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Exactly.
That's what's good.
So number 2 is sexual lies. It's okay to lie to your partner that he or she or they are the best sex of your life, even if it isn't true. According to lifestyle website My Daily Moment, amazing. It's fine because it improves your partner's sexual confidence and self-esteem, which in turn improves your sex life.
That's funny.
Ooh, that's a rough one. But I definitely know that this is probably speaking more to the male ego than the female ego. So that's fascinating.
That's interesting.
In heterosexual relationship kind of scenarios. Number 3 would be lies of omission. Lies of omission happen when you don't necessarily lie, but you don't tell the whole story. So, for example, if you're at the florist getting your partner flowers and you get a text asking where you are, it's okay to say that you're just running late. Another example is saying you're always gorgeous, even when your partner is vomiting from the stomach flu for 2 days straight. Wow. These types of lies are ways we are kind to each other, according to Margarita Taratakovsky, MS, in an article for Psych Central.
Well, I mean, you could still be gorgeous while you're vomiting. That's not necessarily a lie. It depends on how you see the person.
Lying to me now.
No, some people are into that too. That's probably like a fetish for some people. Okay. So you do that, and they might even be like, "Wow, I really like."
That's where your mind goes when addressing this as an option.
I'm just saying that to me is. I mean, I understand the example, and for most,
what about the florist situation? Weird, where are you? And you're just like, I'm just running late.
Well, I mean, technically, you are running late. It is. It's
an omission, though. Yeah.
Is it an omission? Because
the person have asked for your location and you've refused to provide it.
Oh, they said, "Where are you?" I mean, you could say Planet Earth too.
That's not big at all. So next time you ask me where you at, I'm going to say Planet Earth.
Yeah, you can tell them the county that you're in. I mean, you could get a little more specific so they know.
Which state? Arizona.
Yeah, so you can do stuff like that.
That's amazing.
So then technically, I mean, you can ask.
Okay, so next time you I know you won't even ask me. You'll just look at
Yeah, you can just
on the phone.
Oh yeah, you should just track your person, and then you don't have to think about that.
That's not intense either. Yep.
As long as they know, I wouldn't say to track them without their word.
Please do get their consent. Yes.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
Since that is, you have to turn that on your phone, right?
Yeah, you do have to. Well, no, but
no, you can do that nefariously. Yeah.
Of course you can. You can do a lot of things nefariously.
Like CIA situation.
Yeah, there's different ways. Some people install these like fake apps onto their partner's phone. Don't do all that. I think
I love that you think it's okay not. You refuse to have someone check your phone, but you're okay with tracking location.
Yeah, because you got to think, because I don't know if you've seen Taken, but the person.
I don't know if you've seen Taken.
But some people that hits harder than most, because that's happened to them. Like a kidnapping can happen anytime, and if you're not being tracked, how do you track them? It's not like that. It doesn't.
And does that apply to women in this scenario only, or does it apply to men in this scenario?
It goes both ways, because if one's tracked, the other has to be tracked.
So that if I'm tracking you, I'm doing it because I'm concerned because someone's going to take you. I just want to confirm that's the justification here.
Well, no, something. I mean, no. Think about it. Something else could happen. What if like Mars attacks?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Because what if it was just that one day that aliens happened to invade?
When you're getting flowers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why.
Well, yeah,
there's a lot of
would have to invade.
There's a lot of reasons to be tracked, though. What if your phone dies or something? They can't get in contact with you. At least they'll know your last known location. But they can send
pigeons.
What do you mean pigeons? Pigeons to what? To the Mars? I mean, I don't think pigeons haven't been in space yet. I don't think. They may have sent a pigeon to space. Monkeys have been in space, but not pigeons.
You're a mess.
No, it's the truth. They didn't put pigeons in space. So that's
Number 4, to avoid arguments. If you say, you're right, or sorry, that was my fault, to end or avoid an argument, even when you don't mean it, that can be okay. According to Stone, if it's a serious situation, then this is never the correct approach.
Yeah,
but if it's something trivial and the outcome doesn't impact your trust or lives together, giving in to shut down a fight can put a pin in a situation that doesn't have to explode.
That's sorry, that was my fault, though. That's pretty crazy. Because if you keep doing that, then they're going to realize something's up.
Be like, I'm sorry, I'm always wrong.
Because, you seem like sarcastic. I don't know. You
don't even give two
I don't know
situations
if that's... I don't know if it...
I think you have to be very mindful about all of these forms of advice.
Oh, really? No, I think the last one made sense, the one of omission, because, if you're doing something for your partner and it's going to be a gift, of course you don't have to tell them all of it, but you just gotta craft your words carefully. Don't make it so you're just like this, lying person.
All right, well, how about this one? Number 5 is how you feel about their friends. So according to lifestyle site Elite Daily, it's better for your partner to think you don't think about his friends at all than for you to tell him or her the truth. This goes for whether you think the friend in question are super hot.
Wait, what?
So kind of like if your friends are hot, it is hilarious because you would rather your partner not think that you think about them if you secretly are like, ooh, he could get it, or
so it's like if your partner has some friends that they're looking good, you shouldn't tell your partner that.
No, you shouldn't even it should not even.
That's crazy. I mean, that to me is nuts.
I mean, would you want to hear? That's bad for your ego to be like, ooh, this person is
Yeah, but you gotta know, because then you know to keep an eye on them, right?
Oh, here you go.
You gotta keep that eye open. Sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, CIA mode.
No, because then you'll wonder, they'll be like, hey, I'm going to the movies with your friends. It's like, wait, why are you going with my friends? Yeah. There's no movie playing at this time of night either, see? So that's why it's good just to know.
There's no movie playing at this time, is what you said.
Because, that's how people do. It's like, how come there's a movie playing? There's no new premiere tonight. What are you talking about? You're not seeing a movie.
What you talking about, Willis?
Netflix? Nope. I know what Netflix is about.
I know what Netflix is about, too.
Why don't you watch that with me? I'm here.
Hey, it's not that kind of night.
My friends could come over here and we'll all be here watching the movie together.
In the bed together.
See, no bed, though. That's the thing. That one's a really bad one. If you should tell them if you think something of that's
I understand that one because it's.
But I mean, you shouldn't coo over them.
Ego,
really? don't say that your friends are hotter than you. Then I think that would
because
be
people are
you could
usually
say, wow, you know, you got some good looking friends.
Typically is more insecure than the other in the relationship, and especially if like in men's situations, I feel like that would be really problematic if like you had a bunch of hot friends.
But you just got to keep an eye on them as a guy.
But see how it
changes.
As
a woman, then you'll know. You'll be like, well.
But then it also can change your nature of a relationship with your friend. Be like, oh, I don't want my girl pining for you, so I'm not going to see you, dog. Like that's messed up. Like that's.
Yeah, but if it's the truth, it's the truth. No, but that doesn't.
Well, what I think is you should respectfully, love on people.
That needs to just come out
privately to yourself, and don't act on it because there's a lot of hot people in this world.
Yeah, that's why you should be able to admit that. Because it's like if you can't comment on the friends, then you shouldn't comment on celebrities either, right?
But it's also about how you admit it, though, right? So it works both ways. If I had a group of girlfriends and they were fire, and you were like, "Ooh, they could get it," it'd be like. You really want me to turn into a demon?
No, you can't say crazy stuff, but you can say you have a lovely group of friends. You can say
they're
like
a lovely group of friends.
They're quite
quite lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, Bridgerton. Okay.
No, so then you realize, all right, good. That tells a lot about you because you hang out with dogs, you get fleas. You hang out with the hotness, you get hot.
If you hang out with the hotness, you get hot.
Yeah,
remember this platform's called WokeNFree.
I know, I couldn't think of something. That's the best I can give you.
There.
How's that keep you grounded? But it's a true statement, though. You're hanging out around, goodness, good qualities, and you pick up the
there's
good
more
qualities.
to life than how we look on the outside. And
all right, so you shouldn't tell people you should lie to your partner. So your friends are dumb then too. If they're actually smart.
Well, I mean, there's more to life than hot.
No, I'm saying if your friends are. I'm saying your friends. If your friends are super smart, don't let your partner know that. Tell them that they're dumb.
No. But if your friends are super smart, and that's like something like that makes you like, ooh, like then
That's this.
Like I said, I think at the end of the day, you need to be able to control your urges. At the end of the day, you should be able to have hot friends in your life.
But it should be able to be stated though. It's not about,
I don't think
this one's like this one's the lie. But like, don't say anything about your friends. You see them there, and it's like, wow, why are they wearing those like
people
tight
can be
outfits?
hot, and you don't need to act on it. Like I think people need to have more self control. It's like we're not animals. Like you need to be able to be like you're attractive. Well, yes, but
you still should be able to comment on them.
Well, yes, but then also people shouldn't because, like I said, the minute you just said it, people will change their behaviors or they'll start to monitor. It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to acknowledge beauty and it not create a situation. So that's what I think that.
I guess it should be natural too. It shouldn't just be like you're sitting there and be like, man, I wonder what.
Like, why can't you have attractive people in your life? I don't. Either way, if your friends, my friends, you like.
It shouldn't be like if it comes up, it comes up, but it shouldn't just be something where you just keep talking about, oh man, your friends look really good. Then
that's why
weird.
I think it becomes an issue.
I guess it's how you broach it, but I don't think you should like intentionally hide it.
Yeah,
intentionally be like, whenever you get even close to the subject, you're like, the sky is blue, isn't it? You're talking about the friends.
Okay,
you should
enough,
you should admit it. If it comes up, it comes up. Be honest about that.
6-1 is on the list here is protecting your partner, not yourself. So if the lie you tell is meant to protect you because you did something wrong, it's not okay, according to Tartakovsky. But if it's meant to protect your partner, it can be good and healthy lie. For example, if your best friend calls your partner an idiot and you say instead that they didn't say anything at all, you're protecting your partner's feelings. Only you and your partner can determine which kinds of lies are tolerable and ultimately which constitute betrayal in your relationship. That's according to moi. No, I'm kidding.
Which is,
I'm kidding.
You saying?
No, and, ultimately, with the 6-1, again, that's.
Well, it depends because it's kind of like when this one's hard because you got to decide is that person saying that idiot, were they like drunk and they were just spouting off, or are they actually admitting how they feel about your partner? Because then, I don't know, to keep your partner in the dark would be kind of messed up because then you're around this person.
But the problem is, what's going to happen is that, exactly that. So that's why, to what end are we going to keep protecting our partner? So so I would say, as opposed to saying it's okay to lie to your partner, I think you need to be more discerning around who's in your life, because if you have people in your life that would say that about your partner, then
that's easier said than done. You just say, just cut them off because they call you.
No, not cut them off. No. But what I'm saying is just be discerning, right? Like, so to your point, if they said it in jest, or they said it when they're drinking, or they said it when they're, maybe there's something tension or something. Yeah. Okay. But if they're continually dogging your partner, that's then questionable, right?
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
But you probably shouldn't tell your partner like the exact words that the person said.
It's going to create a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, you can be like, my best friend was acting funny. I got to
have
a talk with them.
Or that then falls within omission, right? Because unless someone asks you outrightly,
technically it's an omission.
That's not a lie.
Kind
that
of
would
thing.
be more an omission. So,
but it's something you got to handle. I don't think you can just leave that alone and just be like whatever. It's something you got to think about in terms of how am I gonna deal with this in the future, because this might not be the end. But if, like I said, if it was just some one-off, then it might not help things, because you could go tell because what happens is when you deliver messages like this, you do get destroyed. So
exactly,
this
good
is
point.
Sparta,
the deliverer of the message usually gets like, what? Why would
if you tell your partner that, you're the one that called your partner an idiot. Right?
Yep.
So that's why be careful here.
Yeah, I think then the article continues on to saying that usually from a place of good intention can help soothe your guilty conscience if you're saying what we're saying, which is if you keep it to yourself, but like maybe say it, you're doing that, but you're not really trying to hurt your partner. Is it okay? I mean,
well, you got. Is this going to help? Is the
like what's thinking about the intention and the benefit.
If my partner doesn't know this, I mean, is it something that the person can come later on and say, "Hey, I called you an idiot, and that's what I feel," and then your partner come back like, "What? You called me an idiot, and you didn't tell me that you said that?" See, if it's something like that, then that's why you got to be careful with holding it. Yeah. But if it's something where like it's a one-off and the person you can just deal with it. I understand these
different scenarios. Yeah. Okay. So out of all of these 6, deceptive affection, sexual lies, lies of omission, to avoid arguments, to how you feel about their friends, and protecting your partner, not yourself. So you agree with all 5 except that one about the protecting the friend? Or
I disagree with the sexual one and the protecting one.
Oh, you think you should lie about sexual performance or sexual...
Wait, what do you think?
You think you shouldn't lie? You think if someone outrightly asks you, is this the best sex of my life, you should just answer that?
Yeah, you need to answer straight up.
Ouch.
Because it doesn't...
I like it.
It shouldn't be the best. I mean, you could just say it was good kind of thing. So but you should never say it's the best if it's not. If it is the best, then admit it. If it's not the best, don't lie that it's the best. But if it's the worst, that would say probably
then you lie.
Then you can, if it's the worst, then you
nice,
lie.
Khalil.
If you worst, you lie. The best, you tell the truth.
But you know what? I think ultimately what these, all of these 6 remind me of that. People just need to be mindful of the types of questions you're asking. Because you're really going to get your behind bit. Because these are terrible questions. Like the question around do you love me more than our kids? These are terrible questions.
But no one's asking that. It's what would happen if you're saying crazy stuff like I love you the most in the whole world and you have 14 kids. I mean, you can't do that.
Here we go.
You can't say that kind of stuff. I'm saying it's about your situation, but if you're it's kind of like if you've been dating for 3 days, then you can say that because it could be kind of true. It could be, and maybe all right. Well, let me preface that you got to be in your 80s or something, right? Because then then maybe there's not anybody else that you love more than that person next to you.
You have to be in your 80s?
Yeah, to be able to say that kind of thing to one partner.
Like an 80s dance party, right?
No, exactly. I'm not trying to be ageist, but I'm just trying to be honest but I gave you ways to get around that though. It's a different type of love, and so you can get around that one. Robot. Mm-hmm. You can get around that one. So that's it depends. But what are the biggest problems or consequences to lying to your partner?
I believe this comes down to the golden rule. So you should do unto others as you want done to you. If you are okay lying to your partner, then you have to be okay with them lying to you. So that's how I see this as the biggest issue, because to what end? How far is too far? How much is too much allowed in the relationship? Ultimately, if you have to have conversations around what types of lies you're willing to tolerate in your relationship, to me, that's just not a path that I'm interested in having. But I think that if you are a person who's going to be able to tolerate lies, then you might want to talk about that, because someone might be like, oh, well, I just kind of fooled around a little bit, but we never said that we had to tell each other that, right? I think it gets a little dicey really quickly if you don't set clear parameters, if you're going to be in the business of lying with each other. But how about you?
I mean, it really boils... Well, all right, yeah. when you're telling these certain lies, you gotta be very careful because if you never get caught in a lie, you're probably going to be okay for life, but that's not how lies work. Usually, you'll get caught eventually for one or more lies. And once you do that, you destroy your integrity and you can't ever get that back. That's gone.
That's true.
And then the problem with that is now your partner is going to be questioning your every word and it's probably going to be annoying for you because you're like, wow, so now I can't.
You're only going to be perceived in that way.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter what I say. You're not going to believe me. So this just kind of sucks. So I think that's the biggest problem with just telling lies in general. Okay,
then ultimately, are there any advantages to lying to your partner?
Yeah, I mean, that's the things that you brought up before. Though they mentioned scenarios where definitely there were some definite advantages to lie to your partner. So besides those, I can think of some others. And the first one is that you can hide your shame. So, let's say something happened, like you tripped and fall and, I don't know, like a needle went through part of your rear end or something. You don't want to tell your partner about that because you'd feel ashamed. You're like, man, I was so clumsy. I hurt my rear.
You have a problem. You have a real problem.
My rear-oriented items on me, and
your derriere.
Yeah, you don't want your partner to know that your clumsiness messed how that looks now, because now you have a mark on that. So a lie would help you to hide that kind of thing.
What would you say? The butt fairy came,
AKA mosquito. Yeah, AKA mosquito guy.
Okay, those are the butt fairies. Yeah. That's a wonderful way of referring to them.
Yeah, see, that's a one that people can take home for the books.
Amazing.
Another thing you could do is by lying, you can actually control your narrative so they can view you as this perfect person that's impossible to exist, actually. So, you lie about things and you never screw up, right? Everything's always going well.
There's some
You're never saying bad stuff. Perfect. Yeah. So that's what's cool about lying. And the last thing I could think of is you can actually get out of doing certain tasks.
Pleasant.
So you could say, man, I'm feeling really sick. And then your person goes to work and you just sit there playing video games all day instead of like doing the chores that you're supposed to do.
That's productive, yeah.
But it's a real advantage. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying it's an actual advantage. Those are 3 advantages I can think of. There's probably more, but that's just offhand.
All right. Well, I would say I agree with you. There are short-term advantages like avoiding conflict, being able to prevent the hurting of your partner's feelings, being able to avoid certain situations or conversations. However, according to Dr. Allison Block, lying is a destructive behavior, even though so many of us engage in it. This may be because we are socialized to lie. Society often tells us that some lies are acceptable, such as being late to work and claiming to have overslept instead of truthfully saying that a morning television show occupied your time. Studies have shown that lying may begin as early as the age of 3, that many children tell fibs multiple times a day. They, of course, learned this from adults, making lying a learned behavior. Some parents may even encourage their children to lie to avoid hurt feelings and embarrassment. Often people say they lie to protect their loved ones, such as keeping the serious medical news to themselves so as to not alarm a partner. But this seemingly harmless lie, a protection can backfire when a partner believes the liar does not trust the other partner's ability to be supportive in a serious situation. Ultimately, here is the problem with lying. The little white lies can become habitual and get in the way of trust and intimacy. Mike's trust in Jill is broken by her lie of omission, bringing bigger trust issues into question, making the one little lie into a potentially devastating action. Katie and John are in the early stages of relationship, but continuing to tell white lies will almost surely lead them down a dangerous path of frequent and more severe lying. And then ultimately lies can destroy relationships gradually over time or in an instant. Ultimately, a lie is a form of avoidance. If we choose a short-term, easy path, telling an untruth, we do not consider the consequences of our easy choice and don't think of the long-term benefits of doing the tougher thing, like telling the truth. The partner who cheats and does not consider the benefits of dealing with what is wrong in the relationship, the partner who omits isn't preserving the feelings so much as avoiding dealing with an unpleasant encounter. The partner who lies early in the relationship may not feel lovable enough without lies to build him up. So ultimately, this doctor is saying, yes, you can do it, but it's going to create more havoc for yourself and your partner in the end. So ultimately, it's a no-no. Is what I get from that read.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any advice to those considering lying to their partner or those who have realized their partner have lied to them?
Absolutely. So if you're thinking about lying to your partner, I ask you to do the following. Take a deep breath and ask yourself if you really want to lie to your partner. Or is there another way for you to handle this situation? Sometimes before we allow the lies to come out of our mouth, it's important to just take a deep breath and pause and ask yourself, do you really want to do this? And if you don't, that is your gut check to be able to change the path, change the narrative right there before you go and make the mistake you're about to make, if you see that as a mistake. Secondly, if you lie to your partner, what will be the consequence? Do you really want to deal with that consequence? And also, if your partner lied to you about what you're about to lie to them about, would you want them to make that same choice? If you can ask these questions and you can start to realize, oh, wow, I'm about to make a fatal mistake, maybe I will stop, then possibly you'll be able to course correct really quickly and make a better decision. Now, if you have discovered that your partner has lied to you, I recommend you also take a deep breath and try to remain calm. Stress is a silent killer. And no matter what happened, no matter who did what, could care less, this too shall pass. Do not allow people to take you out of this world because they're stressing you out and you're raising your blood pressure. Really? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone stole from you, cheat on you, whatever.
Wow, the cheating.
Yeah, it is not worth your blood pressure rising. It is not worth you cutting your years off your life over someone else's nonsense. Just take a deep breath. This too shall pass. And you have to ask your partner to sit down with you and you need to address the situation calmly. And you need to create a safe space for both you and your partner to be able to talk this out and hash this out. Whether it resolves, whether it creates, you two leaving or breaking, it doesn't matter what the result is, but you have to allow each other to speak. You should not interrupt your partner while they're speaking. Let them tell you the full story so that you hear it from them. And then once they are done, then you can ask as many questions as you like and be able to create some type of action plan to address this. And then, to be in a solution solving type of mindset, I would say you have to ask for, what do you want? Do you want an apology? Are there solutions for this? Or is this the end for y'all too? Is there a need to speak with a therapist? Like, how do you want to move forward in a way that's going to resolve this and give you solace for both you and your partner? So those are just some considerations.
All right. That's a good, step-by-step guide for people. I agree with, if you're deciding to lie, I think the number one to think about is the repercussions of being caught in that lie. So just think about that before you actually go through with this lie. What's going to actually happen afterwards, or what could happen afterwards. You got to play out the situations that could happen in your head. And then if you were lied to, I would say that, what you should do is broach that same subject and see if your partner will actually be forthright about if they lied. And if they don't do that, then the next bet is to play the song "Why You Always Lying," and that will really catch them.
Crazy?
No, because they're not admitting the lie, so they're gonna walk into a room.
Hold your phone and just play that.
No, you wait. They're gonna walk into a room and then you just start playing it. You don't even look at them. And then you keep turning the volume up and up and up.
You were so petty.
And then they're gonna say, "Wait, why are you listening to that song?" And then you nod your head.
That would be your song. My song would be, what? It wasn't me.
That's not good, because if you're playing, if you play, that doesn't make any sense. So I guess you're the one who's lying. I guess that's good for the liar to play.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, that's a song for the liar. I'm talking about the person who was lied to. So that you're talking about the liar can play that song and really just out themselves. That's more than dry snitching. That's just straight snitching on yourself. Wow.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, if you want to straight snitch on yourself and you did that, then I guess you could. Ready to out yourself, that's a good way to do it. That's a way to to admit the truth. You can come out with that song, yeah.
I love that we're going to musical responses.
If the person doesn't admit they lied and they did, then you gotta
that's the form of receipt you want.
Yes, because it really outs them and makes them feel they might admit everything that they haven't admitted. So it's the way to go, Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? It's scenario time, guys. Scenario 1. Stenny has started many businesses that lasted for 8 weeks max. His seed money comes from his girlfriend. He has another business idea that he thinks will actually last, but his girlfriend will probably not give him more money due to his track record. He thinks if he tells her he needs money to pay for an associate's degree, she will help him out. Does it make sense for him to go through with this lie, knowing that he can finally start a successful business?
Oh, wow. That's a really interesting scenario. Oof. So my gut says, no, we should not lie about this situation. Ultimately, when you love someone, you love them for the glory and you love them despite the grace that folks need. And ultimately, it's a shame that he's this serial entrepreneur who hasn't maybe had the best luck or hasn't had all the things work in his favor to be able to be successful in a business. But if this last venture seems like a reasonable, he's done his due diligence and he is going to be able to make this different than all his other ventures, he needs to be able to convince her, essentially, of being able to back that. And if he's unable to, then he's going to have to find an alternative funder. But lying to her is not going to be a prosperous way to start this, because once she finds out, she can demand payment prior to then when he, is ready to pay her back, depending upon what the terms of what they set with each other. And then also she's just going to feel really betrayed and feel like, I've helped you all this way and now this is how you do me. And so I just don't think it's going to be really healthy for the relationship if he lies.
Yeah, the biggest problem with this thing is you're building a house of cards now. So you told her one thing and you're doing the other. How are you going to now go on in the future always saying, oh yeah, I got this degree in, I don't know, the study of rocks, and you have no real proof. Yeah. You have no proof of that. You just got to talk about the different types of rock formations, and then she's going to actually maybe test you on it, like, wow, what do you really know about this rock? And you're like, oh, I know the quartz. I mean, come on, man. You can look at her and say, yes, I know this quartz rock. And you're going to go get fake marble
textbooks and a backpack and pens.
Well, you got to print out textbooks because you don't know.
And print out exams and give yourself A's and B's. I mean, this is why.
No, well, she's not going to ask you to prove that. She'll just ask you things about your degree.
I'm like, how are your friends at your meeting? Oh, they're fabulous, really?
No, you say you didn't talk to nobody there. You didn't meet anybody.
For 2 years?
Yeah. It happens, so that's easy to get around. The House of Cards comes when.
And what happens when you have to graduate?
Yeah, well, that's easy. You don't.
This is an online program.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, there's no one.
This becomes a really sick.
It's House of Cards. I told you. Yeah, really. You can lie about it for a while.
This becomes a really sick situation.
You might forget because what'll happen is it'll be like, let's say you stay with the person for 5 years or more, and then they're gonna ask you, man, are you gonna ever use that degree? And you're like, what degree? I never went to school. You out yourself. And you're like, what? So that's that would happen because you forget.
Or you say you went to this campus, and then she goes to the campus, and she's like, "I can't find you. Where are you? What class are you in?"
Oh yeah, why you're attending? Yeah, that'd be crazy. You'd say, "Well, I actually transferred because it was too hard, so I didn't really want to go through with that." Or, they weren't treating me right, so I went to I had to go to a different campus. It was not working out.
The campus
I went to a different university.
No campus at all.
Yeah. There must be a rock studying major, though. So
you are a hot mess.
You do that because I told you, you got to know the difference between marble and quartz. We got to kind of figure that out.
Do you really just don't even care?
How do you say that? But that's messed up that people would do that. And what I would say is if you had to tell this lie, you're better off just getting a loan from the bank. I mean, that's crazy. Instead of doing this, it's just too much.
This is not going to go well at all.
Yeah, you're going to be caught eventually. But I mean, well, yeah, it's not a good thing to do. Especially
you'd have to just be a masterful liar, I guess, if you never get caught.
It's not worth it. It seems too much. Scenario 2. Monsha has been married for 2 years to whom she deems the love of her life. For the past 7 months, their relationship has been on the rocks. The only time they speak to each other is to complain. Monsha thinks if she involves her spouse's family, she can save the marriage. She doesn't want her spouse to know, though, so every time she goes out to speak with them, she tells her spouse she is meeting up with some old friends. Is this lie worth it to save their marriage?
Ooh. Oh gosh, another good one. So I'm not a fan of involving family with relationships because I think it's just too hard for family members to be objective and to not be biased towards their family member in the scenario. So they're always going to see the villain in the situation as the family member's partner and not really be able to adequately have enough space from the situation to give meaningful and helpful advice. So I get where how do you say the person's name? Monch is coming from, because you want to be able to have an ear to be able to listen to you and be able to hear you, especially if you don't feel heard by your partner. But the problem is, if you then are doing that and you're creating this space and then you're lying about this creation of space to your partner, at the end, again, how's your partner going to feel? Are they going to feel betrayed? Are they going to feel like, why can't you just talk to me about it? Why did you have to lie about it? Were you really with them or were you with somebody else? It just goes down a really, again, rabbit hole of danger. And I say don't do it. I think it's better for you and your partner to be able to hash it out together in front of each other instead of you having separate conversations about each other in front of a therapist, some type of, love coach, someone who can help you work through the issues together. But a lot of times it's interesting. People always do that route of like, I have to work through this with someone else. Like, you got to work through it together in the same space and not always apart.
Even if the person's not agreeing to work it out.
Well, then then you give an ultimatum. Either work this out with me, or we don't need to work this out at all because there's nothing to work out.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Right? So
no one is forced to be together. But if you're going to be in a relationship, that means you are committing to doing the work. If you don't want to do the work, then we don't need to be in a relationship. Yeah. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is crazy. You're going to speak to your partner's family about how to save your marriage, and then you lie to your partner that you're speaking to them. Yeah. I think that's like absolutely insane. I think that's going to drive a bigger wedge between you two. That makes no sense. If you're trying to save this marriage, you got to, just be upfront about it. And if the person doesn't want to work it out, then, the ultimatum is the way to go. But you can't go behind their back to talk to their family and expect that, they're going to be like, that was great that you lied to me about that. Like, that doesn't make sense, especially while you two are on the outs. That's not smart. Yeah. Doesn't make sense. I don't think anyone's going to appreciate that. Scenario 3. Zongshan was supposed to be saving 30% of his partner's salary so they could purchase a home next year. Instead, he has been using the money to buy materials to build a yacht. The plan is for Zongshan to surprise his partner with a yacht they can sail around the world on. Note that he has never mentioned this dream to his partner and doesn't know if his partner even likes sailing. Is this an acceptable lie since he will be able to live his dream and possibly make his partner exuberant?
Absolutely not. Because how dare he do this with her money? Like, you're totally welcome to surprise people with your money, not with someone else's money. That is absurd. Okay. So just FYI, you needed to know that as well. Do not ever throw me a surprise party on my dime. Excuse you.
Don't do that.
Do it on your money.
That's do it insane.
With my money.
No, but this is building a future together, though. This is a surprise future. This is not just a party.
Use your money. Don't use mine.
Use your partners.
Absolutely. This is why people need to have separate bank accounts. And this is why people need to keep their money together. And I don't know why 30% of his partner's salary was going anywhere other than
because what if that person doesn't know how to save, so they trust the other partner?
Then they should put it in. There's a way where you can get them, like, have money taken out before you can even see it, kind of thing, or automatically forwarded to like another space to help you save for yourself.
But is it a space they can't access the cash until they really need it? I mean, that's what it needs to be.
Either way, this person's about to lose it all. So
you're saying lose it, but they're going to get something better in return.
Yeah, full a dinky binky nonsense.
He's building up a boat.
A dinky binky. That's what he's.
You're not excited for this boat that he can build with all that money?
I am too tired for this nonsense.
That doesn't get you excited, though.
This is life.
Instead of having money for a house, I get a nice boat, like a big boat.
Binky. I don't know why you're nuts.
It's going to have a nice bed in there. It's going to be nice.
Give me a room of trash. I'm tired.
You may have multiple rooms on the boat. That's great.
Ready for the apocalypse, eh?
Yeah, see?
I'm so tired. Ugh. People.
So you don't go for that then?
No, use your own money for your nonsense.
Oh, so if it was Zongshan's own money, then it would be okay.
Then it would be acceptable. I am not here for someone taking somebody else's
dream.
with your own money.
That's crazy, even though it's going to be a surprise for both of them.
Then get consent.
Oh, you need consent.
Build your dinky binky.
So this lie is too much, you think?
It's too much because there's no consent, and I would consider this...
That's most...
I would say this is constituted as theft.
Oh, wow, it's theft.
It has risen to the level of theft.
Because he might interpret it home as a boat home counts as well, so at least he's working on that. And he's going to build it because that's the cheapest way to do it, because if he purchases it, it's going to take them years.
I'm so tired. I am so tired.
That's not impressive.
This is constituting this hope.
Wow, that he's able to build that he's able to build a yacht. You're not even like excited about his skills
with his buddy.
I thought you would have been excited though. I thought you were like,
buddy.
This guy's amazing. He knows how to build a boat.
That is that issue for me.
It's hoping to fund a dream.
It is theft, and there's no consent.
That's interesting.
And I am annoyed.
Even though it may make his partner really happy.
That thing up.
Well, you're gonna light up your money then.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna do. Hurt yourself. His hard work went into it, and then your money went into it. Smart.
Binky nonsense.
So you're not going for that.
No. What's your answer?
My answer is that the biggest problem with this is I think you got to be careful when you surprise people with things, especially of this kind of magnitude. Because the thing is, like, what if as soon as your partner gets on it, they just vomit? So it's, they don't have the sea legs. This is a dangerous thing.
Lord.
I think you should at least be discussing like your dreams with your partner. They should at least know that you have this type of dream.
Maybe.
Yeah. Instead of just having to say like, surprise, surprise, here's this yacht.
Binky.
This is our home. And then you your partner's going to see it, say, what is this?
Where is this house on
I didn't
land?
even know you like to do this. That it's that. I think that's too much for the surprise.
Because what if someone also did this and like bought a trailer, and it's like, I don't want to live in a tin can. Like,
yes, people do that. They get an RV and they say we could drive across the country.
No, I'm good.
No, but there's nice RVs.
There are really nice RVs. But I'd be pissed off if someone took my savings.
But what if they took it and they built it, the RV actually, by hand?
I'm so tired.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, you should just look at their effort, though. At least congratulate them.
Binky on the land.
You're not going to say, wow, you're really a skilled artisan. You're not going to say something.
I am not here for this life.
You're not going to say, like, not give credit where credit is due because they are a mechanic
credit
as well.
Credit is due for your dinky binky.
I mean, I would say if you were the partner, though, you may be mad that they took the money, but
you want to
give them
surprise
credit
me,
for doing it.
Spend your money. Don't spend my money.
So, alright, so as long as it was their money, then you'd be okay.
His money, specifically.
Yeah.
His surprise, his money.
Even if it was 80-20, 80 his and 20 of the other partners.
Absolutely not.
Still not.
100% your money.
5%.
Nope. 100% of your money for your nonsense.
It's not nonsense. It's a home for them.
Too tired of this
It's going to be a home for them.
Yeah, okay, for the sardines.
Oh, alright. If you call it that, you're just gonna have these people miss out on the time of their life. Because sometimes you don't even know what's good for you, right?
Said by, like, most killers, right? You don't know what's coming. Yeah, I bet you don't.
That's different to say you don't know what's coming. That's a different thing. But sometimes you don't know what's good for you, though. Sometimes you don't know your own good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just it's a thought.
I'm too tired for this life. We are at this time again. It is coming to the end of our 262nd episode of
WokeNFree.
Quite the episode asking the question, when can you lie to your partner? The answer is never.
For a yacht.
Yes, or anything else.
Oh, okay.
That is nefarious and and the person did not consent to being lied to.
Okay. Don't lie to your partner about your black hacking.
Exactly.
Thing.
There is a myriad of ways as to where this is going down a very dangerous path, everyone. So, Khalil, what do folks need to do now?
Come back next week for the new WokeNFree Wednesday episode. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
If you'd like to be a guest on the show, we're definitely considering folks for 2023. Hit us up on our Contact Us page, not my LinkedIn DMs.
Oh, wow.
People trying to slide into the DM, hollering at you, girl. Thank you, but no thank you. Go to the contact us page at WokeNFree.com and share your story. And then for social media, if you want to connect with us, again, find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn at WokeNFree, and all sponsorship and collaborations, ... Where do you go? Contact us page at WokeNFree.com. That's WokenFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokeNFree Wednesdays. Remember, WokeNFree is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Until next time.